There are some things that are good for us, but we don't necessarily like. In fact, we may even fear them. Adversity is one of these things. Adversity is often good for us, but a lot of people don't like adversity, and some people actually fear it. Vegetables, for me, I don't fear vegetables, but I don't necessarily like all vegetables. So what does this have to do with our topic today? Well, our topic today is feedback. And people tend to have this love-hate relationship with feedback. They want it, but sometimes they fear getting it. And in fact, actually, some people even fear giving feedback. There are reasons for this. If feedback is given inappropriately, it doesn't really do us a lot of good. The thing about it is, there's so much science to say that feedback is incredibly important. In fact, it's one of the most important variables in performance improvement over time. So today we're going to talk about a very simple system called Good, Better, How that's going to walk you through a way to give feedback that we found to be incredibly helpful to people and actually improve the relationship between the giver and the receiver of feedback. There are a few specific issues that occur a lot of times with feedback. One is a lot of feedback is problem-based. And what I mean by that is you actually just talk about the problems. This was wrong, that was wrong, and so forth. And so people go into this situation wanting to weather the damage that's being done towards them, even if those problems are actually eventually going to help them. The other thing is feedback is often given in a non-systematic way. Just say whatever it is that comes to your mind instead of having a very specific way of thinking about it. That feels like the person's being attacked from all directions. The other thing is the person listening doesn't really know how to take in the information because there's not some systematic way to listen to it. So when you put both of these together, feedback can often feel punitive, or at least perceived to be punitive, which generally isn't the intention. So we're going to move over to a different system, and we're going to talk about it from the perspective that it's solution-based, which means we're not just identifying an issue, we're actually talking about what we can do about it. It's systematic, step 1, step 2, step 3, so the person knows how to listen to the feedback and what to expect. And then it's responsible feedback. So I'm going to talk about this for just a second. Responsible feedback is given with the intention of forward progress. It's given with the intention to help people get better. It encourages those things that are done well, so they'll be repeated. It discourages those things that need improvement, so they'll be stopped. And it's information given without judgment. Now, to be clear, what I mean by this without judgment isn't that you don't have an opinion, isn't that you aren't evaluating what's happening, but you're focusing on the product, not the person. It's not like you're bad at this. This is a place that needs improvement. Okay, so focusing on the product, not the person. The system that we're talking about, incredibly simple in concept. There's tons and tons of really great science behind it. We won't really go into that. I just want to talk to you about the concept. And the system's called Good, Better, How. And it starts with good. Good is saying something that was good about the product, okay? What you did, how you're behaving, what the outcome was, and so forth. It's not just to pat yourself on the back. There's a very specific reason for the good. And the reason is that it level sets around a particular thing. So I'm going to use an example. I was on time for my meetings all week. That's good. The interesting thing about that, by acknowledging that, or you telling me, giving me feedback that I was on time for my meetings, I'm more likely to repeat that behavior. I'm more likely to be on time for my meetings because you've rewarded that for me. The other thing that's interesting about this is it stops the negative cycle of negative. If what I'm looking for all the time is what's wrong, I'm going to see what's wrong. We see what we look for. If I know, on the other hand, that we're going to exchange in our conversation about what was good about the week, or what was good about the presentation, or what was good about the meeting, I will look for good as well. Most people don't need to be encouraged to look for what was wrong, but they do need to be encouraged to look for what was good. This is particularly true with high achievers. They're always looking for things that are wrong. Now, I will tell you that the most elite level, those people are very good about seeing things objectively, seeing what's good and what could be improved, and they don't put a lot of judgment to it. So that's kind of where we're going with this. Next is what could be better. And better is an objective statement without judgment. And again, judgment means I'm not judging the person, I'm judging the product. Important here is that we're not saying you are wrong or you did this bad or whatever. You start talking about this could be better, and eventually we're going to talk about how that could be better as well. And all you're doing actually is answering the question, what could be better? In this current situation, I was on time for my meetings. I could do a better job paying attention. So either I could discover that for myself in our conversation, or you could tell me, I noticed that you were seemed to be fading in and out, your energy was changing. One of the things that you could do better is pay more attention in the meeting. Better is not about bad. It's not good, bad, how. It's good, better, how. What could be better? Here's where I am now. Let's grow from there. Okay, so I've identified a place for growth, a place for improvement, and the last piece is how. How is a solution-based approach to what I'm going to do to get better. It's an action plan. Now, importantly in this, think about do, not don't. So I'm not going to say don't zone out in the meetings. I'm going to say what I will do to pay better attention. The action plan is designed to do two things. One, it's designed to close the gap. So here's how much attention I pay during a meeting. Here's what I want to do. How do I close that gap? So it's an action plan about closing the gap, and it's got accountability to it because it's both measurable and time-bound. So in this particular situation, I could say, okay, the way that I'm going to do this is before each meeting, I'm going to read my agenda. And then I'm actually going to write notes on my agenda throughout the meeting so I'm paying attention. I was on time for my meetings all week. I'll continue that behavior. I could do a better job paying attention. Not what was bad, just here's a place for improvement. And the way that I'm going to do that is read my agenda, write notes. At the end of the meeting, I know, did I read my agenda beforehand and did I write notes? It's very, very accountable. So the phrase good, better, how seems kind of soft, seems kind of easy. Again, there's a tremendous amount of science behind it, and it's actually a great way to level up everything that you're doing. And if it's done right, it actually improves the relationship between the giver and the receiver of feedback. And so it's improving relationships and improving the product. This is what feedback is all about. So hope that this was helpful to you. Thank you very much.